Okay, let's go.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
You're well?
What a coincidence. I think today we have much, the shoe game
Hey, the
is,
shoe
the shoe game
game.
is high, eh?
Yes. Lakini boss kwani yako ni namba?
Wacha hizo bwana.
52.
Wacha hizo bwana.
Mtu hawezi vaa kiatu kubwa hivyo.
I can't be serious. Huh?
Yeah, you're well?
I'm well.
Uh-huh.
And thank you for coming. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, I think today we are having this topic about the relationship and investments because our property pulse is matters toward investment, property investment, land investment, buying and selling of plots. That's why we are in board. So maybe we may start by a conversation by asking ourselves, does relationship have anything to do with investments? I know all of us, even those who are watching us today, they have one or twice, or currently are engaging in various type of investment, be it lands, be it houses, be it in business where a relationship are engaged. So does it affect investment according to the history, maybe the current, and maybe toward where the relationship will heading in the future? Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I think investment affects a relationship both positively and negatively. Positively, it brings you together because if you are doing an investment together, you'll be creating most of the time you are together, you're doing things together, you are making decisions together. And also negatively, when one party does the investments alone, it can also affect the other person because the other person will feel like you don't trust me, you are not straightforward, you are not open. So it can affect both positively and negatively.
But basically, I think even if we are doing in terms of partnership in business, what if one of the parties has got that power in terms of business? For example, he graduated with maybe masters in business, and if you find like he is the one who is spearheading, and maybe you might find, for example, we assume today Elijah and Anne, maybe you are in a relationship as per se, you are not in a relationship for those who are being. And you find, like, for example, for you, you are into that business and you can put it forward. But for me, the other side, maybe I may not be that into that business, or maybe my spending ways are not that economical in terms of business. I think those are the challenges that people are facing today. But since we are here, I think we can now see the pros and cons.
I believe if we are in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship, I feel you should love what your partner loves. If you love your partner loves doing business, at least get the interest to know how this business lands. And if you're in a partnership or maybe in a marriage, we are one. You should be knowing, even if maybe I'm out on business, you can learn the business. At least learn on how you can learn that business. Because, for example, especially for men, I tell my male friends, invest in your wife. Why? We don't know about tomorrow. When you leave this woman and maybe you pass on, we have seen stories of where your family will come and start disturbing your wife. So invest in your wife, empower her. Let her come learn how your business lands. Let her come know your business partners. Let her come know how you deal with the employees. Let them come and know so that even if you are not there, not only there, you could be going for a business trip. Let her be there to run the business.
Yes, but I understand, though you see in different families, they are diverse. For example, you can find a wife is a nurse, and maybe the husband is a financial consultant. So telling the financial consultant to go to maybe to the nursing or the medical departments, it becomes maybe a bit different. And maybe, I don't know, the honesty or the dishonesty of the parties. Because for me, if today you tell me to maybe to elucidate on matters pertaining investment, maybe on a pharmacy, on a hospital, maybe I may not understand much, but you see, the wife is a nurse, and now the hubby is a financial consultant. So I think sometimes, even if we really want, maybe physically to be there, maybe financially to be there, maybe advice-wise to be there, and I think it calls a lot of honesty, maybe from the various parties. Because for me, if my wife does not understand that much on terms of financial matters, and I do not understand much in terms of medical matters, I think it depends a lot of honesty. But you find these days, allow me to say, women says whatever they own is theirs only, but whatever the man possesses is equally to be shared with the wife and the kids. But I don't know how things are these days, since things are changing. But I find a lot of women tend to say, whatever I've invested, whatever I own is mine and my own. But whatever the husband owns is ours, me and my kids, and maybe and their families, and maybe other people who are relying on us, of which I feel should not be the case. I think the case should be you are bringing, and also because now we are equally empowered, both men and women, and I feel sometimes you women, these days you are much empowered. So I feel I should bring something on the table and also bring something on the table so that I think we can invest together and build maybe together. Yeah.
Okay, let me go first to your first point. You said if the husband is a financial consultant and the wife is a nurse,
Sure.
and maybe then the wife is running a hospital, for example.
Sure.
You don't need to be a nurse or a doctor to run a hospital. You just need to have the skills to manage. Because if you are there as the manager, you're just seeing the day-to-day learning of the business. You have nurses, you know what nurses are supposed to be doing. You have doctors, you need to know what doctors are supposed to be doing. Just the general. Leave the rest to your wife to do the practical part of it. But you need to know, if my wife is out of the town, the business should be running. Doctors should be at work, nurses should be at work, the company is running. It's not necessarily you know 100%, but you are supposed to have ideas that you will make that business to run. That business should not stop because your wife is away. That business should not stop because your husband is away. You need to know how that business lands. Even if you not get into details, I believe there are people doing that job. Your work is to man them, monitor. My husband is not around. He is be doing this from morning to evening. This is what he does. You are able to do that and make sure the company is running. Number two, on the my money is my money and your money is our money. These days, women are very empowered.
Sure.
And I believe we concentrated so much on empowering the girl child, and we forgot to how to train the boy child to deal with an
Sure.
empowered woman,
Sure.
to deal now with these empowered women.
Because now this is a new thing.
Yes. I believe if we are in a relationship or in a partnership, I should not be your competition. We should be working as a team. So if we are working as a team, and maybe nimeona my teammate amefail hapa, I think I can support. The work of the woman is to support. The man leads, I support. I don't expect to kae kwa giza because my husband hajaeka tokens. I'll put tokens. I'll be there to support you.
Okay.
But number one, men should have this mentality that men are the providers. My work is to support you. Where you are unable, if it's business-wise, I support you with ideas. My work is to support you. So don't go into a relationship or a partnership with the mentality of atanisaidia. Just go with the idea, I'll be providing leadership, or I'll be the head, and she will be supporting me. Yes.
But do you think on that point, in terms of maybe roles, first allow me to ask, because I know a lot of people have been asking themselves, is there a difference between now the relationship, as you have said, and in terms of partnership? Because for me, I feel whenever you're doing business, in terms of partnership, you have said it should be 50-50 in terms of effort, in terms of money, and in terms of maybe the management criteria that is going to be used. Do you feel, even if you have said men should take up the roles of being a leader, now are these roles going to be subjected back in terms of how you operate in our in-house, for example, the cooking, because we are doing the same business, and also we are putting our efforts out 50-50. Do you think also when you get back at home, also you should do things 50-50, maybe the house chores and other things that should be done 50-50? And maybe my third point, maybe in some scenarios, because I know there are people that are watching us now, and they feel, yes, for example, Annie already said that you can, I can ask, depending on where my current occupation, depending on what I do. But you feel in some areas, maybe, for example, as a husband, I'm a pilot. And you find most of the time I'm really engaged, and maybe in that field of being a pilot, maybe my wife cannot come and chip in, you get me? So you find maybe the wife does other job, for example, in terms of business, and no business wide, maybe a supermarket or a mini market or another business that he or she does. You find like me as a pilot coming in might become difficult, or any other, for example, a policeman or a person in the army. So telling him to be maybe active in that business, I think the only active part that he can play is sort of financial and maybe emotional support in terms of running the business and making sure all the data, maybe all the management systems are running. I think also there's a gap or in terms of diversity, but I believe whenever someone decides to be intentional in terms of business and in terms of the relationship, because by the end of the day, you find I was watching another podcast and they were saying the key goal to divorces, the key goal to division or separation of many relationship is the factor money. So I think this topic has come at a very good point where money is number one. Even someone said, a certain senator said, like before kids come, money should come first. A kid should be planned, like maybe have one name and a lot of things. Maybe also we can talk in that line because I feel in some careers maybe they might not be compatible. Or if I may ask, does it mean now because you're not compatible business-wise, we cannot be compatible in terms of relationship? And does it mean because we are compatible relation-wise, does it mean now directly we are going to be compatible also in business?
Okay, number one, I want to reply on the roles. You said if we can share the roles if we are doing bills 50-50. Practically, that's what means. That's what it means. If we are doing 50-50, I expect I paid rent, you paid maybe school fees. I expect you also wash the dishes as I cook because it's 50-50. Otherwise, the man needs to be a provider. And if you are not providing, let me tell you, if we do 50-50, you'd start being disrespected in that house. Why? Because this woman will be feeling, neza lipa rent, school fees neza lipa. So I feel as a man, you need to be the man, be the man of the provider. Let me support you. Like, let me support mahali naona umeenda kufinyilika ni, I support you. Number two, you gave an example of a pilot who has, I believe everyone has, where there is a will, there is a way.
Sure.
If I am interested to be in my husband's business, if I'm willing, I'll get away. We all, no matter how busy we are, we always have time for things and people we love.
Sure.
Kila mtu akona leave. On your leave days, 21 days leave days. That is enough time for you to have learned your husband's business. That is enough time for you to know how your wife operates her business. So that for future. Because even if you are not the one, your kids would wish to learn about the business. So create time. We create time. No one is so busy. There's a meme people always spread. It's a joke.
Sure.
They say in the Bible, this person who was in jail, and Paul, and he was always writing letters. So don't give us an excuse. Learn that business. If the husband or the wife is willing to let you learn about the business, please do. For future. Yes.
And can in terms of business partnership, whenever maybe the business, God forbid, collapse, does it affect the relationship? And after maybe whenever the relationship, because people getting together is normal, and also people separating is normal. The thing that you are seeing in our society, like now, previously, people divorcing, it was a bit of a trauma, people are being stigmatized, but you can see in the normal society, starting with maybe the socialite in the social media, you can see people getting together, divorcing, and does it, now in terms of business, if business collapse, does it put the relationship into risk? And if the relationship collapses, does it put now the business at risk? Or what should people do in terms of registering whatever you own, for example, in terms of land ownership, in terms of business ownership? Because I think a breakup in either relationship or in terms of marriage, something that comes with a lot of trauma. And out of that trauma, people tend to do a lot of things even without thinking. I feel there are people that do things, even you feel they were not supposed to do things, they should have sat down, maybe use some logic. But I feel some people extend. Now to foresee, I don't say, because if you start planning plan B or plan A, actually that plan A is not going to work. But maybe how should people live in this diverse world? Because the bad thing or the good thing about this world. Not like the previous generation that we had. They knew you had to marry. After you marry, you have to get the ranch from your parents. After you get the ranch, get to 2 to 3 kids. You proud, the husband goes to Nairobi to look for work, then they come back, and life goes on. But in these days, number one, it's not that inheritance that you say, my mother is going to give me, my father is going to give me, my grandfather, my grandmother is going to give something. But you find this day is a bit diverse. You find someone is getting even abroad to look for job. And how should people now start in terms of maybe later on, if they separate, would they be able to sit down? Or before you start a business, maybe you are my wife. Should we sit down with a lawyer now, start separating, this and this, just in case? Or how should people go about it?
I feel there now that's where the law comes in. Unajua there is a good divorce in quotes. Good divorce where it didn't work. We separated on a good page where we can still do business together and we can talk. Kuna ile ingine yenye inakuwa chaotic. So if the divorce was chaotic, that's where we involve a third party. Like maybe we go to civil law, civil courts, we solve that legally. And kuna hii yenye we just agree on the shares of what this is the financial capability of the company. Maybe you get a percentage, I get a percentage, the rest goes to the business. I think it depends with the separation. Kuna yenye ni peaceful, kuna yenye ni dramatic. The one that is dramatic, we go to the courts. I think there is a law on that where we will divide the what are they called? The things that you got together in the marriage. Na kuna hii piece where we could be still doing business. Because at the end of the day, maybe there are kids involved. These kids need to grow up. Yes. So I think it depends with the separation.
So maybe before you get now to the separation, as you're going to start business, maybe you are newly married, you have maybe some savings you had, maybe 5M, I had 50M in the account. At the table, once you sit down and deliberate now you want to do a certain business, should we now involve a lawyer or should we consider that part just in case we separate?
Not necessarily, but I think we should be having, I think when we are registering a company, we put ourselves as the directors, the two of us. And then there is a certain percentage of shares that I come with, you come with. And then I think that at the end of the company, if the company comes to an end because our relationship did not work, I think we can divide the shares. Yes.
And does the collapse of the business, can it lead to the relationship breaking up?
The collapse of the business should not. I think that should be a stepping stone to the next business. If we were selling shoes and the shoes business collapsed, we should now start selling dresses. Yeah, that should not be, I think that should be a stepping stone, a learning lesson for the next step.
So meaning, in the normal day world, I think we are not having the so-called relationship built in the basis of love. I think due to maybe the financial crisis and maybe where our country is, these days, in terms of partnership, number one, you have to consider the person that you are compatible, not more so love, because you have said you're going to separate, you're going to maybe to get your share, I get my share. And number two, maybe we are going to look at someone who maybe we are compatible with in terms of business. Maybe you can look maybe the academic or maybe the experience in terms of business, so that when you come into the table, no, I'm going to marry Anne. Yes, Anne is a HR, so he's good to do business. So in terms of financial stability, in years to come, even when you're planning to get kids. So I think in terms of relationship and love, I think in terms of degrees is a minute. And maybe in this current generation, people are looking in terms of financial stability, in terms of tomorrow, in terms of future. And this brings me to another question, even when you're...
Let me first answer the question on compatibility.
Sure.
I don't think you can base someone to marry on the compatibility on the business side. Because there's someone who is very blank from the village, from high school, from college. They are very blank. You are not compatible in business. Maybe even this person is not business-minded. But once you sit them down and maybe they see you yourself, the business working, they change on their mentality. So if you judge the person on maybe they are not business minded, there are people who are not business minded, they are farming minded.
Sure.
Farming, yes, is a business, but before it comes to be a business, it's work. So there's someone who is farming minded. So before you change this person, he or she needs to see it working with someone else. Maybe they see, maybe, hey, now your business is doing good, what are you doing? And you share tips, A, B, C, D, and they start changing. Slowly, and the next time they become very big business people. So I don't know, when we are looking to marry, for me, I would not go for a business mind. One, I will go for an intentional person. You know, there's someone who is intentional. Even if this business doesn't work, hizi sweetie nisipouza, kesho I'll do smoky on the kwa barabara, nijaribu smoky doesn't work, kesho niko na samosa. Intentional, he or she is intentional. Hii kikufa, naanza hii ingine. Nikienda hii huku kusongomane, naenda huku kwingine. He's intentional, he wants to make it happen. Because unaweza pata huyo mtu akona business mind, but ataenda uze hizi sweetie, akose kuuza and they give up. Why? He or she has the experience, but kuna time tu mtu anafeel, sitajaribu tena. So go for an intentional person. Maybe one, she's working. What is your goal? Do you want to be employed for the next 10 years? No. What do you want to do in the next years? Maybe they want to do farming. Maybe anataka kuanza kufanya construction. It's a business, yes. So you need to first sit down with this person. Hata akikwambia he or she is not in business, understand their perspective. Na wewe umuulizie your perspective ya business. Yes.
I think this brings back to our patriarchal society, where we were, and men, according to their wealth, was measured maybe by the livestock that he owned, the land that he owned, and the number of women they had. Because in this business setup, so we are saying, if someone can do business and they can come to support, and I know most men who advocate the patriarchal society are going to, the patriarchal thing of having maybe many wives are going to maybe to concur with whatever I'm saying. They say, if I can have several wives, for example, one is a doctor, the other one is a pilot, number 3 maybe maybe an electrician who is in business. Can that be that can sum up wealthy, because we are having this source of income, having the other source of income, we're having that source of income. Because if we are going to base our relationship, we have said that being intentional. Number 1, this person must be intentional with you as an individual before you get to being the business.
Yeah.
After that person now gets intentional in terms of whatever investment that you're going to do, because you might be a doctor or in a raw farm, and this person maybe decides, because I'm not in a raw farm, but you can support whatever business idea that you have, provided the person fills me in so that I can get the information. Can that now come back? Because people are saying many men should marry 8 people. Don't you think that can work in terms of this generation?
So you guys are saying women are many. Let me tell you something. I read this quote. Yes, we have quantity, but we don't have quality.
Sure.
Yeah, wengi wako, but before you find that, wanawake ni wengi until you are looking for a wife. Huyo mwenye unatafuta, mwenye mtafanya, someone who you'll have a future with. Quantity wako, but you will not get quality. So I think on that having many wives, there are many sources of income. So you as a man, you're marrying many wives, ndio walete kila mtu 10k 20. So you are looking at where you want investment in these women. As I told you, women hawatoi pesa siku hizi. They want men with money. Why? Because most of the women of this generation, millennials, kuenda hivyo, they are empowered women. These are women who are working. These are women doing big things. These are people owning companies. So you want to tell me you want now this woman, ukuja umkarishe chini, she's a pilot, you said, now ametoka England, amerandi Kenya, unagoja akasugue sufuria. She will not, because she's already empowered. So wewe ukitafuta, when you are looking for someone to marry, tick your boxes. Number 1, unataka mtu atakuwa anapika, tafuta mtu ni housewife. Unatafuta mtu atakuwa anafua, housewife. Wewe unatafuta housewife, because these empowered women, we get to work at 8, we are leaving at 5. Before you umalizane na traffic za Nairobi, you are getting to home at 7. You also getting home at 7. You said it's 50-50. I'm making ugali, you're making the stew. I'm breastfeeding, you're washing clothes, if it's 50-50. But mimi, I believe in empowering. Support your wife. These are things that can be done. Nguo tunaweza fuliwa. Sisemi siwezi fua. I can wash. Nguo tutafua, but don't wait it 100% lazima ifanywe na my wife. Kuna zile siku ako off, ako free, anaweza fanya. But pia look for an intentional woman, someone who is ready to build a home. Mtu anajua ni yeye anafaa kuserve the husband. Mtu anajua anafaa kumwekea socks hapo. So pia marry someone who is intentional, not pasi afue. Nguo tunaweza fuliwa ama tufue na machine. Si lazima tupike, tunaweza pikiwa. But be an intentional woman. Anaweza kufanya hizo vitu but kwa business ako 100%. Kusupport biashara zako ako 100%. So tick your boxes. Mimi naambianga mtu kuwa na checklist. Wewe unataka mtu anakupikia? Look for that. Wewe unatafuta petite, achana na awe, achana na thick. Usifocus. Unatafuta thick, toa petite. So have a checklist. Unataka mtu atakuwa anakusupport hivi. Huyo anakusupport, unatik boxes. Boxes zako zikitik, that's the woman for you. Kuna moja iko na X, you continue on the look. So settle for the person you are looking for. Don't settle because time is running. Just settle for the person you are looking for. Mwenye atakuwa anafanya 50-50 wako. Mwenye yeye anataka support peke yake wako. So go and look for check for what you are looking for. Tick boxes.
Yes, but I think, I believe in this era that we are in, people are getting to work at 8 and getting off work at 5. And maybe some people even learn at weekends, maybe Saturday and Sunday, maybe sometimes they're at work. And you find a lot of engagement platform where you can get to know other people, they are very minute. Even some other people are working from home. So getting to interact with other people where you can get a spouse has become quite difficult because people are not interacting. And that's what you find these days in TikTok, people are really talking out of their hearts because people are not going out, people are not getting excited to know other people, even their cousins. If you call someone that and says, where did your cousin, the one back after 5 years is, someone does not know. And maybe he's a close cousins. But I feel even these days, people are making sites. I've seen another person on TikTok, I don't want to mention his name, has made a site where people can come and interact and maybe can know one another via social media. Then people are complaining they have been single for 37 years, for how many years, and we understand. But I think there's a point that you have mentioned on now having the minute duties. Because I feel, even as a man, as I stand today, if I get to the hotel today or to a good restaurant, I can be served by a waiter, I can be cooked good food, but I believe the so-called the minute things, those are the things that makes maybe a family or relationship to run. For example, doesn't mean that a wife should come and cook and everything, but serving the husband, I think that's something that maybe the way he's going to serve him, the way that she's going to serve him, these are the things that brings people together, brings marriage together. My wife does this for me, my husband does this for me. But I think even if you're doing business together, we should not take now the whole business going home, saying 50-50, I cannot wash, I cannot do things. We understand that sometimes the wife might be earning more even than the husband. The wife might be having that tight schedule more than the husband. But I totally understand that people don't have that a map, like I have said before, that much to say that after this, I do this, after this, I do this. And maybe this is the one of the main reasons as to why we're experiencing a lot of divorce. I don't know how people are going to maneuver it, but we have people that you can consult. I have psychiatrists when this goes wrong, but I feel people are going to maneuver here and there in terms of investment because money is key, financial stability is key, because by the end of the day, when the kid comes, there's demands to be met. When it's 8 months, there's a house to be paid. When there's an investment, there's a car to be filled, car to be bought. So I think in terms of financial stability and investment is the cowgirl matters pertaining relationship are concerned.
So what do you think if we are now married and we buy a piece of land, who do you think should be on the title?
I think if you allow me to go back a little bit, if you're based on patriarchal society and maybe whatever is there out of the few books that I have read, the woman is always the owner. People don't get to understand. the woman is always the owner. Because number one, if you look at the lifespan of a man, it's quite short as compared to the woman. And by the end of the day, even if that property is owned by the name of the man, because sometimes you find in marriage, for example, you are called Anne by the name of your dad. Then when you're married, if you want to, you can be called Anne now by the name of your husband. So see, by the end of the day, this property belongs to a man. For me, what I would advocate is anything, any property that you have, even the court procedures allows even the kids, after the division, the kids are going to get an equal measure out of the inheritance of the husband. So I think for the sake of the unity of the family and for the sake of trust, because even if you come and buy something and it's in your husband's names, I think there's trust. But since the world is diverse, I think since a title can be written 2 names, or you can do your name, your wife or your husband names, then your kids as they follow. But you see, just in case of emergency, you will have to call over them to come and sign. So I think having one person being written under the title, and you feel these days, you go to sell something, then your life goes to court and says, stop selling this one, I have not agreed. So I believe we can use now the patriarchal, where maybe all the properties are under man, or you can use now the partnership where your title can be written under your name and your wife's names. Also, as a man, I understand there are a lot of people who have a lot of properties. Maybe some of the properties write down your woman, some of the properties write down your kids for the future, because you'll find after a month goes or dies, there's a lot of conflict. The in-laws are harassing the wife, no, this man was ours, we educated him, we demand all of this, and maybe the kids are left alone. But I feel, even when you are saying that a man should empower women, I think some of the properties should be written at the kids and the woman to avoid future conflicts. But even by the end of the day, you might find even the wife dies before a man. So I think it's upon understanding, because different people can use different criteria.
Another question: if we are married, as a woman, am I allowed to acquire property of my own? I am working, my business is doing well. Am I allowed to go buy plots maybe and write it under my name because I bought them?
Now, are you going to inform your husband or your kids?
Probably.
Why are you saying probably?
Because kuna wenye watasema, kuna wenye watasema.
It's like I said, it's all about the agreement that you have. For example,
this one is individual land now. I have bought. What are here family land, mine.
And maybe, if I may, why are you buying this large individual land and you are as a family, and you say the business you're going to do together? Yes. Why should you be buying? You feel like, I want to buy.
Yeah, there's some people who just feel I want to invest on my own.
So for me, I feel,
another question: when we are married, are we supposed to be having a joint account?
Yes. I think allow me to answer the first one.
Yeah.
I feel if deep down inside, because you have said it's being intentional in whatever you are doing, you can tell a husband, I feel I have acquired several properties, but it was my dream when I was growing up to have a property under my name. And if your husband is understanding, because the number one you said you have to have the boxes, understanding, intentional, then he will let you go and buy. Also, I understand he will be supportive enough to come and know if you're being sold a genuine property or not a genuine property. So I think it's all about understanding, but I feel to some others, it might bring some red flags, because why is my buying a property, and the husband might think, now this one is planning to divorce me, and maybe it can create now a diversion as to why you are buying property and you're not bringing it to be a family property. Yes, and maybe the question 2 you have asked about?
Joint accounts.
Yes, I think according to my little knowledge, I am not an expert on the same. People, once you are joint, should have your own personal account, because despite your family or your partnership, you have your own things to do. We can try to be compatible, but we cannot be 100% compatible, because you come from a different family, I come also from a different family. You come maybe from a different beliefs, and I come from a different beliefs. And maybe we might either come from different culture, and also I come from different culture. Also, you might be feeling yourself, you come from different locations and also regions, maybe the country, or people marrying from different continents. So I think we should have an individual account where you are free to do your things with your own money. while your wife is aware, because sometimes you might go and get a loan with the mortgage that you have, and by the end of the day, you get your wife into many problems. So I feel I, as a husband, I should have my own account. You, as a wife, should have also your own account. Then you can have a joint account, which we should decide on how much are you going to put in that joint account. Because out of this joint account, is that money or that fund that you're going to use as a family investment. Now, to avoid limiting maybe the partners, because for example, as a man, I want to get out at maybe kugonga mbidi or buy tea for some people, send some few coins home, support friends and here and there. But if you put all this money in the joint account, then you are going to laugh out of shoulders. Also, as a wife, you have to do your wigs, you have to go with your ladies, you have sometimes to go out doing your things, not necessarily concerning the husband. So I think people having their own account and also having joint account and deciding the amount of money they're going to do to be put in that account, I think can help as an individual. One is going to give them freedom, and number two is going to join now because there's a union having now the joint account. Yeah, so for me, I'll encourage with my little knowledge, especially because I'm not an expert, and encourage people have your own, decide on the amount that you're going to put, and also open accounts for your kids. Yes, get property for your kids as young as they are, let them know they have something, because even the Bible says the wise man leaves the inheritance for his many generations to come.
So can I access your now individual accounts? Like, can I have your ATM, your PIN?
Yes. I think, I believe, for example, what I believe is that people should be transparent in whatever they are doing, more so to your spouse, so that even whenever you are in trouble, the spouse can know how to go about it. Even whenever you're not feeling well, your spouse can know. So that should be a mandatory in case you want to be intentional, want to be transparent, and you want that trust wrong. So I should be having your own account. If I want to access it, I should sometimes use your card with your permission, because now we have the joint card. I have my own card. I think we should, even my M-Pesa PIN, I think I should have that M-Pesa PIN. So I think it should be that be open, because I don't know if at all you have decided to be intentional in this relationship. I don't know, see the reason behind me hiding my M-Pesa PIN, me hiding my bank account. If at all you trust your partner, and that's, I think we go back to where you were saying about the boxes. So I think it should be transparent, should have the PIN. Even when you leave the card, you can tell your husband, can you withdraw my funds for me, then you send me. So I don't think you have decided to be the same roof, to be doing the same things, sleeping in the same bed. I think it should be transparent, but it will vary according to how you know your spouse. And these marriages sometimes they have drama. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people fear. But I think if you're doing all things together, I think you should have even your personal. Sometimes you find the man buys the property, for example, in land, then comes and gives the woman to keep the title. The man goes and acquire a mortgage document, then comes and brings the woman. So you see the serious relationship is still there. So I feel for the relationship to be transparent, knowing very well your spouse, how he or she is, I think you should allow him or her to have. If not, someone should have a trust, maybe a lawyer. If you don't feel like you're very open, then later on the lawyer can come and tell this is what your husband has. That way.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yes. Because now when you get to acquiring land, maybe since you're brick homes and you're a real estate company, for example, people may want to maybe to acquire land, and for the sake of supporting one another, like you're having a Matu project, where you're having a mega site visit on the 10th, it's coming month, October. You're going to plant tree to be a Bazigira day, so everyone, be it in corporate, be it in business, I think that should be a free day, and they should join us, because you're going to plant tree, you're going to have a boozy, you're going to eat choma and enjoy, have some music there. So I think at that particular moment, I think people should take it as an opportunity to join with your family, come with your wife and your kids, come and take 2 to 3 plots there, come and plant a tree to remember in that same plot you have brought. I think for a wife, you can decide to deposit 100,000, then for a husband, you can decide to finish the 150, or you can decide the wife to buy this one, the husband to buy that one, so that you can join. So I think in terms of investment, more so land, let us people bring together. Even if the wife does 10 or the 30,000 for the title, I think by the end of the day, you will feel that you have someone who is supporting you. And by the end of the day, you're going to acquire, and the wife will not feel, no, I think he does everything. And be it 5,000, 10,000, even the wife is going to feel part and parcel, because now we can not rule out the empowerment that you are being empowered by society. So I feel even the husband, if the husband is the one earning a few, I think he should take care of maybe the title or the normal advice, because by the end of the day, is having someone to have your back. Yes.
And the title deed, we can include up to 5 names.
Yes.
So you can put your husband, wife, and your 3 children.
Yes, you can put your husband, your wife, and this. So people should not fear, because now there's an allowance. No, I put my wife. No, you can put the kids, or you can put the kids around. I think people are diverse, and people should not fear investing, because they are in a relationship. It should come even for like in us brick homes. We can offer the consultancy. We tell them how to go about it. They express their fears. And by the end of the day, they are going to fear, because it's adding a document in their portfolio. Yes.
Then you should normalize marrying people you trust. Even if you trust them with your title deed, you're okay. You trust them with your bank pins and ATMs, you are okay. So choose your battle wisely.
But how can you, which criteria can you use to know that you can trust someone?
But when we spend time together for, maybe we are married for 5 years, you should be knowing your partner by then, unless they are hiding. Because I don't feel you can hide for long. We can hide when we are dating, because we are not meeting regularly, but in the same roof. Another thing I always say, pray God for the what is it called?
Divine connection.
Not really divine connection, discernment, so that you can know the person you are with. If you are doing an investment, ask God for wisdom. I want to invest with this person. Lead us, and I know He will. You will see the red flags. If you agree to ignore them, you will cry. But it's good people to be trustworthy. Yes.
So as we come to it up, maybe you can see, before you come to investment, before you come to relationship and other things, you should sit down first and ask God, is this the person that is meant for me? Because the Bible says, and Adam, out of Adam rim, Eve was created. So I believe out there is someone who is your rim, out there is someone who is my rim. So I think before you start a relationship, before you start investment, before you start the partnership, the core goal should be God. So you go and pray. If there are red flags, to help you to identify those red flags, then whenever you're getting to the relationship and getting in terms of business partnership, I think now you'll be free, because God will be secure.
Yeah, and when you see those red flags, do not confuse them with green flags. You should be running as from the first red flag.
But you see, whenever people decide to engage hard first,
you need to engage God first.
But you see, sometimes people say love is very sweet and love is blind. So whenever in that, the butterfly seasons at the mood there.
Love is bright, but you are not. You are the one making the decision.
But,
so in fact, when you're making those decisions, don't assume the red flags. Those are warnings from God. So you be careful. Kama mtu alikuibia mkidate dhao moja, si mkiona atakuibia.
Atakuibia everything.
If this person alikuchapa slap mkidate, mkifika pale ataongezea hiyo slap zikuwe 3. So be careful, watch of the warnings, the red flags. Yeah, and pray God gives you the good one.
Cannot be praying be the core goal as to why people are separating.
Praying.
Yes. Wow.
But you cannot be separated from what is yours.
So you won't mean because people did not pray when they were starting the relationship, that is the reason maybe they are separating?
No. No, I think, I don't know why people are separating. I don't have experience. But most of the time, for now, it's, I feel the major thing that makes people separate is ego. Because if we put aside our egos and talk, I believe we can get a solution. And if we get a solution in divorce, if it's something that cannot be mended, unajua kuna kitu huwezi tengeneza. If it's infidelity, you cannot bargain. So I think ego, communication, ego, and maybe infidelity. And if in chances of infidelity, just go.
But there's a phrase that was trending just the other day online. I think even now it is trending. Marriage ni ya mafara.
Inababa mafara. I think ikibambanga hao mafara, choose your fala well. Choose huyo mjinga, inabamba mafara. So ukibambika wewe kaa fala, pia chagua fala mwenye mtabambika na yeye. You see, choose person. I don't know, venye nitaiweka, choose a person mwenye you are in this together. Huyo fala anabambika pia, wewe tafuta fala mwenye anabambika na marriage.
So you want to conquer that marriage ni ya mafala, number one. So you have to choose your own
chagua fala yako vizuri.
Yeah,
choose fala mwenye mtalaim. Yes.
Wow.
In everything be intentional. Yes.
So mimi nichague fala so that you can get into marriage.
Abambike na wewe ubambike, marriage ikuwe happy.
But I feel this social media, in terms of TikTok and another social media platforms, people are talking out of heart, out of guilt, out of past traumas. And people might take in what is not authentic. And people might be misread by someone who was heartbroken, but by someone who was the main cause of the marriage breakup. And out of that heart, someone comes in the stream media and says, marriage in Amafara, because of the heart. I think there's a call to everyone out there, people, because each and every day these days, people are ever on their screens, first scrutify the information they are getting into their brains, because someone is saying something, and the other day, everyone is also repeating the same thing. So before you feed in yourself, you want to take in that information, just scrutinize whatever is being said and stick to your own beliefs and stick to what God is reading you. Because you might be misled by someone's love, someone's disappointment, someone's breakup, then you end up not doing the things that you're supposed to do, not meeting, not making that happy family because someone said something. So it's all about what you believe in, and maybe what you're called upon to do, rather than being misread, because hiyo phrase ya marriage ni ya mafara inaweza kuwa misread watu wengi sana.
Me, I would also want to advise especially women that are getting into marriage, elevate as your man elevates. Bwanako akiwa hii stairs, make sure pia you are going at par, because once amefika hapa na amekuacha hapa, atapata mtu hapa, and you're down there. So elevate as he elevates. Sijasema you compete, elevate. Usikae like, unajua sometimes when we are growing up, we were like, nimalize primary, niende high school, niende college or university, nipate job, niolewe, nipate kids. So wewe wakati umeolewa umepata kids, like, uko comfortable. Do not get into a comfort zone. Hata kama you are married, you have the kids, keep on pushing, keep on elevating for yourself. Not for this man, for yourself. Anaweza kosa kukuacha, akufe. God forbid. So you need to step up and raise these kids. Hata the man, usikue comfort zone. Ati sasa wewe ulioa, uko sawa. You need to keep on pushing up, up, tuendelee kupanda the radar. And that's how utapata you are not disappointed. Your man is closing deals on this side, you are closing deals on this side. Munaleta kwa the same basket. So elevate, don't get into a comfort zone. Usiseme ati mimi nimeolewa. You keep on going. Kaa smart vile ulikuwa unakaa ukiwa msichana. Ushinde huko na madera ulilala nayo, umeamka nayo una stockings. Amka, ule msichana aliona. Wacha akae ni yeye bado anaonanga. The body inaweza kuwa imechange, but let him be seeing the same girl in the house. Si ati wewe so let's not get into comfort zone.
But I totally agree with whatever you're saying, but I feel the world is really diverse, and maybe sometimes one spouse might not be able to keep up. For example, there are a university guy and a college lady coming together, and maybe the university person is determined to advance in terms of levels. Maybe he can do his master's and also do his PhD, which the wife is not according her calling. So you find maybe that person is elevating academically, but the wife maybe is not elevating in terms of academically, and once someone is elevated academically, in terms of thinking, in terms of the view of things, is going to be different. But I believe if your intention, like you said, people can work things out.
Even if it's not academically, ataanzisha kaduka hapo kwa estate yenu. Hiyo duka itoke duka, iende ikue ya big shop, ikue wholesale. The next time tunakuona ina supermarket. Si lazima ikue education. Kuna watu hawataki kusoma. It could be business wise, it could be farming, it could be cattle, unaeka ng'ombe zimezaana, it could be kuku. Usikae tu get something you should be doing. Stay busy. In fact, ukikaa busy utashinda ukinag the other person. Stay busy. It's not lazima ikuwe education. Inaweza kuwa hata unakaa na watoto nyumbani, but unalisha kuku hapo nje, umepanda boga unauza kwa estate.
So it's all about people, when you get to the next years, your spouse should be getting to the next years.
Your husband is 2 stairs above, uko hii ya pili unakam. Lakini si ati yako 10, we uko 0 pale alikuchukua bado. Ataona mtu uko 10. Of which we hata ukierevate hayatafanya asione mtu. But at least do something with your life. Usiolewe ukae wewe sasa ulifika kwa kinandoa. Ni kurelax.
I think this is a thing that has been happening to many people. I have my own goals, you have also your own goals. And when you get to marriage, you throw away the goals that you had. Then you come up and focus on raising the kid. Then later on you find yourself, hey, what did I do with my life? Hey, I should have done something
And
better.
in most cases, women ndio wanachanga hizo goals, wana support the husband's goals. I don't know why it happens that way. As much as we are supporting these men, we also need to be supporting ourselves. As unamsaidia kuelevate, pia wewe unajiinua kidogo. Muna balance. See, not competition, but just do something with your life.
But like maybe the kids factor. I think there's one that maybe some women decide to focus at a younger age, maybe to raise the kid to be there close to them, because maybe the parenting is one of the cause reasons as why we are having this deviance everywhere in schools, riots, and all things. So I think some women sacrifice their career, their visions in the future, so that they can get the molding of their kids on their own at an early age, which is going to set up maybe the way they are going. But I think the bad thing that can do, the worst thing that can happen, is not them now rejoining after they have brought up the kids, maybe the 2 kids, the 3 kids, is now rejoining with whatever they were destined to do. Yeah. So I think we have come to the end of the close. We have come to the close of the show, and it was a nice one. And thank you for having me, and thank you for having you on the show. Maybe you can have a part shot and maybe tell our audience whatever we have for them in terms of, now we are approaching December. Let's get it to an end. Maybe you can tell them a part shot and maybe a package that you may be having for them. Yes.
I would wish to invite them for a Buzi festival. We'll be having a Nyama Choma Fest in Matu, in our project in Matu. It's called Lioness Gardens Phase 5. We'll be having a Buzi Fest where you'll come invest, enjoy Nyama Choma, and go home as a land owner. With only 250,000, you'll be the next owner at Matu. Just 5 minutes from Matu town, 1 kilometer off Thika Garissa Highway, and 900 meters off the Masinga bypass tarmac. Join us on the 10th of October and for a great experience. Call us today on 0721 077 077 to book your seats. See you then.
Okay, on part shot, thank you very much for having us. I'd like to ask the people, do you remember in January when we were starting the year? Do you remember the pen, the color of the pen? Do you remember the color of the book that you write down your resolutions? You did write them down. I don't know if you ever revisited that particular page, but you do know what? There's nothing. Land investment is the only investment that does not depreciate in value. And us as Brico Homes, we have got that investment. We have various projects such as Kamakis, Juja Farm, Mai Mahio, Nyeri Chaka, just to mention a few. You can imagine at the remaining months of this year, you can become an owner today. So call us on number 0721 077 077 to start your land ownership journey. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next round. Cheers.
Brico Homes, a touch of fulfillment.